Hey, how's it going? Oh, pretty good. Yeah? How's this been going? I tried to check in the other week. I'm trying to just do like a stream directly to YouTube, but I can never. It's really good. It's really the best part. I don't know.
Good morning, everybody. What's up, Patrick? Been a while. Good to see everybody's smiling faces. What great weather we're having. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Tulsa edition. 1 Million Cups is a national movement. It's now in 34 cities across the nation. Just started in Nashville last week and Little Rock, which is cool. We've already had a few Arkansas companies come over here. One presented, so now there's an Arkansas host. We just got back from Kansas City. Our community organizers, Barrett, myself, Brad, and then Dustin. We got to meet about 40 other cities up there. A few will be launching in the next few weeks. So what is 1 Million Cups, you're asking? It basically is a weekly meeting in a community like Tulsa. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in the room, but this isn't just exclusive to entrepreneurs. It's about learning what startups are doing in our city. So if you're looking around, you see somebody who's really sharp dressed, more than likely they're someone wealthy that wants to give you a check. I'm just kidding. Our format is we have 2 startups that present for 6 minutes, and then each startup will get 20 minutes of question and answer with us, the community. You can basically ask anything that's on your mind as long as it's relevant to sort of moving them forward and accelerating their growth. We really want to encourage and inspire the companies that present to move forward down the chain. And then for us, I like it, it's a little selfish, but it's experiential learning on our end. We get to sit and hear how they've succeeded or failed, their thought processes, and we can learn from those different decisions they make. And then here pretty soon we're going to start putting some of the companies that have presented a while back up, and we can start asking them follow-up questions on how things went. So it's really cool as you stay along the pipeline, you get to see the progress and the growth of the companies, or the failures and how that went. So next week will be our 6th-month birthday, 1 Million Cups in Tulsa, and we're still chugging along nicely, and we've been voted, I guess it's official now, since last week, we've been voted the best dressed city in 1 Million Cups Nation. Thanks to Barron's photo with our sign last week. So, they made a meme and it said dress classy, Tulsa. So that's sort of our motto there. Anyway, when we were in Kansas City a couple weeks ago, we had a cool idea that we heard. If you remember our very first 1 Million Cups, we introduced everybody to everybody, and we got to sort of share. And we thought, how cool, we haven't done that in a while. We have a lot of similar people here, but we have a lot of new people as well. So the mystery presenter today that I'm teaching is actually you. We're going to give you about 20-25 seconds, and we think this will help build community even more. I can point out and call out a lot of your names, but I see a lot of people here that I don't know as well. And so we want to introduce you to one another. So the format will be very quick. Barrett's actually going to play Academy Award music for those of you that speak too long. So try to keep it 2 to 3 sentences if you can. If you've written something down, you've got to read off of your notepad about yourself. That's too long. But I will just pass it down, and then basically as Barrett begins to play, that's sort of your cue to wrap up, and then pass the microphone on to your neighbor. We don't want to get into whack-a-mole with the microphone, so please pass it. I will go first, and then we'll have a great startup present today as well. So my name is Tim Bickers. I'm from Tulsa. I grew up on Route 66. I run a company called Emerging Ideas, and we build startup companies in Southern Africa. And we've sort of gotten into building startup ecosystems over there. We're based in Zimbabwe, so we've got a bunch of different companies, and you can look at that. It's called emergingideas.com. Pass it to you. You just want to stand and address it.
Hello, I'm Jeff Moore. I work for Safety First Supply Company. It's a family-owned business. My dad started 17 years ago in our garage. It's grown into what it is today, which is a great company if you're wondering. We do industrial safety supplies here to the manufacturing and construction industry.
My name is Bill Cottom. I own a company called Vision and Escape the Room, and we are a multimedia platform trying to connect you with people that can have a positive impact on your business.
My name is Aaron Miller. I work for the George Kaiser Family Foundation. I'm a program officer focusing on young professional retention and recruitment, entrepreneurship, and arts district development. So I've enjoyed coming to 1 Million Cups for a couple months now.
Good morning, Ron McDaniel. I'm a commercial lender for College Bank, so that means I don't have any money, but I know where they keep it. And I've enjoyed coming here just to some entrepreneurship type projects I'm involved in here in Tulsa and learning more about what's going on in the city.
My name is Paul Ibanaga, and I work with small businesses, churches, and schools, and I do marketing and financial consulting.
Hey everybody, my name's Daniel Holloman. I have a sole proprietorship called D. Holloman Photography. If anybody needs portraits or anything, come find me. I've got one scheduled, so I'm pretty busy. And I attempt to record it sometimes, most of the time. There you go.
Hey, first time here, my name is Alex, WFC. I'm a co-founder of JobPack.com. Though I don't like the similarity, it's like the Match.com for employers and job seekers to meet together based on criteria of what's important to them.
My name's Lori Waldridge. I was born and raised in Tulsa, and for about 15 years I've had a marketing firm called Idea Studio. And about 4 years ago I had an entrepreneurial seizure and decided to start a pizza company called Top Hat Pizza, and it's worldwide now.
Good morning, I'm Tim Pickens, an attorney here in town, working as an in-house counsel for those that don't have the ability to afford in-house counsel.
Hi, I'm Cal Morris. I work with the school organization here in Tulsa. We're just a few blocks over here. If you don't know about it, it's a national organization, 11,000 volunteers across the country with some great men and ladies that give free mentoring to entrepreneurs growing their business or starting their business. It's one of my partners here, Zach, with me. So call us, we can help.
As Paul said, I'm Zach Lindsay. I'm the owner-proprietor of the Lindsay Firm. I'm an attorney focusing on small business and startups. I'm also a school volunteer with Cal.
I'm Aaron Tiger. I'm the lead pastor of Regeneration with Meet the First Year Out of Baptist Church, and we're in the business of making disciples of Jesus Christ.
My name is Peter White, and I'm also a pastor at First Methodist, and I do the college ministry there, and so you're actually in my space. So welcome. I'm really glad you're here. I love Tulsa, and I love hearing fresh ideas about what's going on around town. And I go way back with Tim and Barron and Justin, and so it's really good to see you all here.
Hi, Patrick. I work with oil and gas company here in Tulsa. This is actually our about 51st year in been around for a long time. And this is my first time here, so I'm really excited to kind of learn and see.
My name is Mickey Brown. I work for KWB Oil Property Management. We're always looking for interesting new deals to invest in and to encourage. So it's good to be.
My name is Patrick Huber. I recently spent the last 5 years at OSU getting my undergrad and master's in entrepreneurship. I am currently unemployed looking for a job in marketing, small business development, and just about anything. So if you have any leads, I got one already, ideas, job openings, please let me know. I'm here to network with
top. Thank you.
I'm Bob Hufner. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm also a partner with Business Transitions. We help other companies through different types of transitions. I'm currently president of WellCheck Systems International. We're a new startup, and we're doing remote well site video monitoring alerting systems.
Mike Boucher, I'm a former teacher of American Corner here in Tulsa, originally from New York, and I now help run a health IT firm that brings transparency to health data across different health systems.
Hey guys, I'm Brad. I'm one of the co-organizers here. 1 million cups, but also run an online marketing company called Move Incorporated, where we look at brand design, strategy, SEO, that type of stuff. It's creatingmove.com. Thanks.
I'm Joe Deal. I'm part of a worldwide web company that's active.
My name is Jared Katz, and I work for a pharmaceutical company called Physicians Total Care. We develop software that allows physicians to dispense medication directly from their offices.
Walter Giroux, I'm with SayAh, who will be presenting later. And if you're looking for a Python writer, if anybody is anyone knows of a Python writer, pay very little. So, Warren Moseley, I'll be presenting SayAH shortly, so you'll hear that from us.
Hi, I'm Jessica Flint. I work for the Chamber managing the entrepreneurial programs, and mainly that includes the Forge, which is our business incubator. We have 6 office spaces, we have co-working space. In the back of that space, we're located at 3rd and Cheyenne, so just on the street, so come check us out.
My name is Jeffrey Simpson, and I have a startup company named Moxie Software. My main product is Dynamic Connection, an online maintenance management software for restaurants. Sends out text messaging and tables ready, so using the poster pages. We also have Scott Flash, which is the easiest, most efficient way to gather email addresses through text messaging. I'm Steve Smith. I'm a marketing manager with an old company in town, the Unlock Company, just northeast of downtown. And also I'm representing a startup we hope to present here sometime called Spot My Bag. Customized luggage. And next is the getting started.
Hi, Rod Colder. Family and I started Spot My Bag about 6 months ago. SpotMyBag.com, where you can upload your images on 4-wheel spinner luggage, personalize it, and customize it.
Morning, my name is Tyler Lamb, president of Sears Payroll. We are Tulsa's only 100% paperless payroll company. Started 2 years ago. We've doubled both years and looking to double again this year. And I'm here because I love small business and I'm inspired by good stories.
My name is Dave Berlin. I feel obligated to keep talking just so we can hear Greg. I'm just going to keep talking. No, I'm with DJ Connection right now, but we're part of a big startup that launches in 8 days called Thrive 15. It's an online entrepreneur. With videos. Come back into it.
I'm Callie Berlin, and I'm a trainer with Whole Foods Markets. And I really like coming here and just sharing my great ideas that Tulsans have.
I'm Ross Faith. I'm with Spectrum FX presented here in January. We sell a fire suppression product to commercial airlines.
Good morning. I'm Chris Moore, and I do strategic planning.
Good morning, I'm Mark Loinger. I'm a venture advisor in town here with I2E. For those of you who might not know I2E, we're an investment group, an advisory group for early stage entrepreneurial high growth companies.
Hi, I'm Julie Onward, and my first time here. I feel like it's an AA. I have a graphics design and web design company called the Rest Group. We work primarily with nonprofits and small businesses.
My name is Michael Palmer. I work for a small company called Narrable. That's Arizona. Narrable is a storytelling and creation app for students K-12.
We sell to teachers, schools, and districts.
Yeah, Tim's going to play if I go too long. My name is Darren Hyatt. I'm a one million cups organizer. I'm also a pianist that makes classic, neat, cool. Right now I'm emphasizing a home concert program that brings good friends together to enjoy great music. It's called Keyword Confidential. So if you have any private events or at your home for your business, you want to show appreciation for people you care about, then this is a great way to do that. Thank you, sir. All right, so now's the time for a few announcements. If you want to be on a 1 Million Cups newsletter, and the newsletter will tell you on Monday who's going to present that week, and also give you links for all the announcements that we have, that all you need to do, send an email to Tulsa at 1millioncups.com with the subject line newsletter, and we'll be sure to send you that. A couple weeks ago, we had Find Me Safety present, and they've gone on to great success as far as getting more and more publicity just because they presented at 1 Million Cups. So if you're interested in presenting, then you should apply, and hopefully you can get invite them. You can still get Find Me for free. The directions are in the newsletter, so sign up for that and you'll get those directions next week. Let's see, Venture Spurt today has office hours from 2 to 5, and they still have 1 hour open from 3 to 4. So find a newsletter or find somebody who has a newsletter to figure out if you want to get a free half-hour session with Mike Whitaker, who's on their board, then sign up for that soon. There's an entrepreneurship workshop on Tuesday, what is that, 29th? Yeah, Tuesday the 29th. That information is also in the newsletter. And then we want you to help us find more presenters. We have gone for 6 months, which is saying something here in Tulsa. It's funding 2 startups almost every week, and we are always looking for more. So we have these cards. If you like what the experience is today and you want to share about this with other people, you can grab a card in the back. You can also, if you want to send an email to somebody, the 1 Million Cups main website, 1millioncups.com, has a great video that explains what 1 Million Cups is, and then you can tell them about your fantastic experience this morning. All right, now we're going to welcome our first and only startup for today. It's called SayAh. Warren Moseley and Walter, you met them earlier, have a company in which physicians can make their good reviews show up in searches. So, Warren Moseley, let's give a round of applause for SayAh.
Probably going to leave the slideshow. I am going to leave the slideshow. So if you have questions, probably the answer will probably be easy to demonstrate on the slideshow after we have a little discussion about what we're doing. Healthcare is a constant topic. You can't get through the day without talking about it. And people that are providing healthcare have less impact on what's going on in healthcare than when you think they do. And what they don't, what most doctors don't know now is that 90% of all new patients will refer to patients go to the web before making the final decision about the doctor. Typically, there it is. You have to swallow it. Typically, the health grades and the other services on the web that reflect the doctor's practice have about 2.4 reviews per doctor. 1/3 of those are bad. So if you look at the average doctor on the web, there are 67%, which is a low D, maybe you're great on the curve. I don't know what it is anymore, but it's fact is no doctor is a 67% doctor if they wouldn't be in practice. They only have 2/3 of the patients happy. But when you go to the web, that's what you see. If you antagonize somebody, they can come and really daily on the web, and there's stories about that and lawsuits flying around. And the problem is if you try and remedy a bad review on the web, you have to go to health ratings or vitals or one of those websites to try and correct it. And all you're doing is drawing flies to the light, and so you don't accomplish that. So what we've developed is a system where you can proactively deal with the web presence, and at the same time, you get the data necessary to calculate what your patient satisfaction ratio really is, and patient satisfaction is used now to determine how much reimbursement you're going to get from the insurer, or how little you're going to get doctored by the feds. Medicare and Medicaid, if you don't have certain compliance issues, one factor which is patient satisfaction can reduce your income up to 9% if you're a doctor. So that can be, if you're doing Medicare $500,000 a year, 9% is $45,000. We compare that about our costs for our system is right at $1,000 or less per doctor, depending on the number of doctors in practice. We're a very small investment. The process is you take surveys of your patients as they leave the practice. And on a tablet, they don't want to use a tablet, we email it to them, but obviously the email tends to be deleted and not answered, so the best place to gather it is at the doctor's office. If they agree to allow that to be published, then it migrates through the web. We verify that you have an actual patient, because on the web, anybody can go and give you a bad review, whether or not you're your patient or not. If you're being involved, and then they can give you a bad review. So there's a real reason for a doctor to control their reputation, even if the doctor is not taking any new patients. Attrition means they need 250 patients a year just to maintain their status. So that's 250 less than 10% that are going to the web before they select them. So you want your web presence to be there. If you take a lot of reviews and use some technology, you will be on page 1 of Google. Most people search a doctor by name. They get a referral to Joe Smith, MD, and they look up Joe Smith, MD, Tulsa. Generally speaking, the SayAH website will be right on page 1, along with the other ratings. But if you've got 300 reviews, 98% patient satisfaction, that's going to say you're a busy doctor, successful doctor. If you're a knee surgeon, you're at least cut on 300 knees, probably. And so now I go a doctor's busy, successful, and I'll select that doctor rather than having one person that has a bad knee after the surgery write 5 reviews, tell me they got unquote. So it's a two-fold process. The price is $89.95 a month for 1 to 5 doctors, dropping down to $69.95 a month for 50 or more doctors in a group. And for mid-levels, it's $29.95 a month. We've got 300,000 mid-levels. We've got 1 million of physicians who work for medicine, work for podiatrists, any type of physician, chiropractors, all of them can use this process. Obviously, you can migrate it to restaurants or anything, but that's not where our focus is right now. Our focus is on the medical world because the doctors are just now beginning to realize, especially in a market where their reimbursements are going to be reduced, that they need to have happy patients. The other thing about happy patients don't sue. So if I'm an insurance carrier and I can show that I've got a 98%, I can show my insurance carrier that I've got 98% patient satisfaction, that's only 2% that might sue. And so I can negotiate malpractice claims. We're having negotiations with a lot of malpractice carriers about giving them an incentive if they're using SayAH. And we just started the marketing. The product was developed. Walter and I took over the company about a little over 6 months ago to put it on the map. And we've done a few things, 2 software since we took over that are now ready to be implemented, and that is so that if you go to a group that has 1,000 doctors, they're going to want to sort by specialty, by walk-in clinics, by individual clinics, by individual doctors. So we created an enterprise solution as well as just the rating so we can manage a large group of doctors and make sure we've got patient satisfaction. That's a summary. I'd rather let you ask a question.
All right, thanks, Warren. So now's the time when we get to ask questions to, really the point is to help Warren and SayAh develop their business further. So if you have a question, raise your hand and get my attention, and then I'll keep an idea of who's in line. And please limit your question to one, and then one follow-up if necessary.
Can you kind of show us what it looks like you're saying on the slideshow and how it comes up, the ratings?
Here, if you go to Google, which is looking behind you, just a couple of very experienced doctors and the ratings on Google. You see a doctor with 3 stars who's been in business. Well, we'll go to the next slide. He's been in business 42 years and 33 years. One's got 2 stars and one's got 1.5. So no, they would not be in practice if they were only satisfying half of the patient. So they haven't paid attention to their review yet. All the new patients are going, virtually all the new patients are now going to the web, and that's what they're seeing about this stuff. That's not what you want to see. Brian Hawkins is our founder. He's a surgeon at Central States, and Central States got slammed by one person writing bad reviews on all of them for somebody to irritate. And so this was their idea. This is the genesis of the idea that we've got here. I'll give it. Here's what the you asked the question I'm looking. Here's what it looks like on the web. When you click on SayAh/Brian Hawkins on the web, it'll pull up a screen. In this case, he's got can't read any of these things. He's got 97 verified reviews, 4.8% average, 98% with positively referred. Now, once the doctor decides they're going to the web, they can't pick and choose the reviews. The reviews are going to the web that the doctor gives you a 1 or a 2 or whatever. So, and also what happens is if the patient leaves Brian's office, and here's what it looks like. You hand them a tablet, and it's all touch screens, and you can move it. If the patient says, I didn't understand the word he said, and yet he's going to bill me $5,000 to fix my knee, the patient ought to understand what when the patient says in real time, if they're attending the exam and say, I didn't understand the word he said, Brian gets a text message on his cell phone, since the patient you just saw doesn't understand a word he just said. Not only that, the administrator in the office, it's a screen that you're looking at here. This is the dashboard in the office, and as that patient hits enter on the various parts of the web review, it goes right through the screen. So if you're doing, you may not do reviews every day, but if you're doing reviews on Monday mornings and Tuesday evenings or afternoons, whatever, somebody's watching this dashboard. You see in real time when a patient's having a problem with what just happened in the office. The x-ray table is cold. You're going to know it. The head nurse was cranky. You're going to know it. She's cranky on the next 5 surveys. Maybe you better have prayer with her and discuss what the problem is. So you have real-time feedback on your practice. You're going to create a better practice no matter what.
All right, Warren, let's get to the next question here on your left.
I've seen a lot of physicians start using patient portals where a patient can go online and fill out the paperwork prior to the appointment. Have you thought of partnering with those types of companies? Because as you mentioned, people read emails, but if they're the type to go online ahead of time, they might also be the type to get online afterward and do a review.
We're not necessarily partnering with those companies because they're self-contained software that's HIPAA regulated. What happened, that data that they're sending on that system has all sorts of privacy. What we have in our software is an ability to click the button and approve that it go public. The patient makes a public decision. However, They're great marketing resources. I'm working with a company called New Crop, which was started by a friend of mine. They are the e-prescribing engine in about 100 electronic medical record systems, covering about 100 and some thousand doctors. We're working a deal where they're going to be operating this. What we're doing right now is we're in the process of raising about $1 million to start it. We're using crowdfunding to put in about $1 million, a little over $1.1 million. We're doing crowdfunding right now to give $1.8 million, and we're about ready to launch in the next 24 to 48 hours. And we're going to do some very sophisticated marketing and to let the world know we're there. The problem we've got is there are a lot of people out there with a lot of money in the healthcare industry, and we've got to have a marketing footprint that is a big cost at some point in time. Somebody could see the idea and develop something similar. And that's where Walter and I have been in the healthcare business, and I've done nationwide marketing for longer than I care to think about. And so that's what we're developing. And we're putting together contacts with people that have hundreds of doctors. But we're going to go out with a lot of offers.
I'm trying to keep it to two questions, but they're really different. One is, I'm on your site right now, and I see that there's a banner ad down in the lower right-hand corner on this physician review site. Curious why there are ads on the page. What was the decision-making process behind that if you're charging physicians for the service also? So that's one question.
Let him answer that first.
Okay.
Are you talking about a banner ad on Hawkins' site or on our site?
On Hawkins' site.
On Hawkins' site. It will not have anything related. If you look at all the other review sites, if your doctor's a 3 rating, you'll have 5 doctors with 5 ratings right next to you and be selling some other practice. So there will be no doctors on that banner site. Right now, our penetration is not enough for us to worry about it, except it's not going to be another doctor.
I understand that. I'm just curious why you're selling the ad space on the site when it's the reason to that is kind of my next question, I guess. If I go to SayAh.com as a patient, I won't be able to find my doctor. I'll have to find the doctor. Is that correct at this point? Or if I go to SayAh.com, I cannot find my doctor through that website.
Not yet. We don't have enough penetration to have that.
So if I'm searching my doctor's name and their self-generated review site comes up, I'm just curious what your decision making was behind the decision to sell ads, for instance, Joseph Bank on the site.
The fact is, we haven't paid any attention to that right now. We're not. I think I saw that last year. Last year we had 72 cents of revenue from Google. So we're not paying any attention to that right now. But we thought about what we're going to do with it, but it's just not on our radar screen.
Okay, the second question I have is...
So, my question is about your funding mechanism. I'm interested in how the venture groups like this go through the process of funding, the crowdfunding process. If you had to give up much interest in the business to do that, if you're satisfied about the rate that you have to repay, just how does that whole funding system work through this, and whether you consider it an SBA loan or other options for funding your opportunity?
Right now, it's just being funded by cash from those that founded the company and sweat equity from those that have founded the company. And fortunately, I've got a lot of surgeons that are part of the founders, so that we haven't, when we say what we need at the end of each month, and here comes the check. But that's a pleasant situation to be in. I've been in other situations along my career. But we're giving up 30% of the equity for $1.8 million for 2 pre-money valuation. All equity. I'm not interested in debt right now. As far as SBA funding, at my age, I'm not going to personally guarantee a loan. I mean, I've done it on the other end of the spectrum, but my spectrum, I'm not going to come in with equity and play with this. We've got the experience. We're going to make it happen, or we're not going to make it happen. I'm not being horsey about it, but all of the shareholder debt that's been there is being converted to equity somebody could negotiate a deal that had some debt involved or some convertible debt. I'm old, but I've been a lawyer since '73, so I don't very deeply format it either. Generally, we're avoiding debt.
The next question is on your left. With any of the reviews that are posted here, can any of those actually be pushed to the Google?
On that wall here.
Yes, they absolutely can. That's not our focus right now. There's a lot of vendors that are out there. Right here. There's a lot of vendors out there. So, yeah, that's something we can do. Our goal would be to build a number of reviews with that doctor's side, and then if they want to start listing these others out, they can. The real goal being that now you've got some offset to some of these sort of boring or negative reviews that you get on a lot of the sites of healthcare providers. So it gives you a lot better pop for what we're trying to do. The more guys that we can touch out there in the Google world, the better off we are. Yes, a question about Googling your doctor. The truth is, you just Google your doctor. I mean, we're not looking to try to say necessarily at this point, SayAH is the site you go look to. We're looking to, you Google your doctor, go out and find him, he pops up, he happens to be on SayAH's site. In fact, it looks smart. They're starting to realize if I go to health rates, I'm going to get and really health rates has become kind of, they're anonymous, they're not verified. People are starting to dig deeper down on the page, they're starting to look for the dirt, they're starting to look for the real solid stuff that has sensitive information. There you go.
So, supply and demand works. For the rating system that you have, whatever the supply is greater than demand, because that's what you go and pick and choose and the place that has the higher rating. In the situation with doctors, it seems like the demand is greater than the supply, and so the question is, what is the financial incentive for the doctors to do this? Because it seems that there's not enough doctors to go around, so it doesn't matter what the ratings are. In fact, they're a doctor, they're going to have patients to fill the bill. I don't see doctors on the street corner of the sign saying, we'll operate for food. So what's the incentive for a doctor to do this?
The top 10% of successful doctors spend $25,000 a year on marketing to keep their name and their prestige and their reputation out there, which keeps people coming. It is not just go to a doctor and get the same treatment. They want to set themselves apart. The top 25% are also making $12,000 a year in marketing money in their practice just to stay out there and above the water. Plus, reimbursement is determined by patient satisfaction. Real good example is there were 27 in one specialty here in Tulsa. An editor came in and said, we're cutting back 9%. 9 of these folks don't have a very good reputation. Boom, they're zero. They can't even see it on that patient. So talk about cutting your reimbursement. So having your reputation maintained well is very important, because the defense side is almost as important as the office. What you're saying is money business, but also doctors are adding physicians, assistants, and mid-levels that they want to keep busy. Because if you go to a practice now, if it's minor, you're probably not even going to see a doctor. So there's 1 million of doctors, there's 300,000 mid-levels, and that's growing about 28%. At about 20, in the next 5 years, that'll grow 28%. So we're looking at another 100 to 200,000 mid-levels. Because with all the volume that's being forced on as the federal plans go, it can't be handled by the doctors. You're absolutely correct. So it's going to be, some people call it dumbing down. But the fact is, there are a lot of tasks that a certain amount of education is necessary to identify the problem, and then you can move to the doctor.
But how much more money can they make if they need $2 million a month per physician? Because I think it comes down to dollars. They're not going to buy this unless they can make more money.
one surgery a year is worth about on the low end, about $3,000, and it costs less than that. One primary care patient is worth $543 net a year. So if you say 2 patients a year, or get 2 patients a year out of the system, and it's hard not to. 90% of the new patients are going to the web to make the decision. That's what a lot of students question about.
So, what have you learned about training doctors' offices and their staff to actually give this product to the patient? What challenges have you had, or what's kind of the strategy around the actual implementation?
Everybody who works in a doctor's office is overworked and underpaid, and if you don't believe me, you can ask them. So what you have to do is, one, it's all about leadership. If the doctor says it's going to be done, and you write the paycheck, it's done. Somebody's got to clean the toilet, somebody. But the fact is, most people like the feedback. It'll help them run. And one of the fun things to do with this is, we've done this, and it's in one of the slides, which I probably won't show because it's all local doctors. But there's 20 doctors that have our system in one practice. And at the end of the month, we give them a report, patient satisfaction in all the categories by doctor. Now, if I'm the practice administrator, and I have to go point to the doctor and say, hey, doofus, if you're down in the 90s, clean up your act. Practice administrator, that person confirmed. You've got 20 bosses in that practice. If I just hand out this sheet with all 20 doctors at the partnership meeting, the doctors will leave each other. They're all competitive. They'll get on doofus for you, and you saved your job and still maybe move doofus to do something better. Maybe not.
So I want to actually flip Jeffrey's question on its head. I guess where I want to hear a little bit about is the incentive for the patient to fill this out. Obviously, the value to this is in the data that comes from the patient, and my experience is human behavior is very difficult to change. How do you do that so that you get patient interest?
You will get about 30% of the patients to say yes. If you send them an email to do it, you get a third of those, you get 10%. But he's got 90-some reviews up there. He saw 90-some so far this week. He's probably already seen that. So it's not that it's just that it's go-to health rates for Brian Hawkins. He's got 15 reviews after 23 years of practice. And some of them are state. An interesting anecdote with this larger group. The first 500 reviews they did had 30 that were really solid. Of those, 20 of the 30 were workers' comp patients that didn't want to go back to work. If you want to have a little humor and process. They fixed the problem, but the patient wasn't happy with what the problem was. So it's just a little anecdote about that. But you're not going to get everybody, but you're certainly going to get a much more representative group than you would, like I said, random from the web. On the web, you don't even know who your patients.
Back to me. I think this is great. In my own practice, I use something very similar, but it's only for me. It's not published because of the ethics rules prohibiting lawyers soliciting testimonials from clients. And so I'm curious if there are similar ethics rules that physicians have, and, well, I know there are, and I really want to know how you negotiate around those, since this is given, I'm guessing, by the nurse or by the staff person directly to the patient, and then does the patient know that will then be published on the internet?
As a recovering lawyer, between Martindale Hubble and super lawyers and all of that, there's already a rating system that's sort of put a little big on the table to get super lawyers. It's not all nice and that. So, but the patient has to sign it. When you go through, the first thing you sign when you sign in on the tablet, is that you will allow this to be published. So you waive your HIPAA. And then at the end, when we send home to confirm that that's you, and you assign one number. You only do one review on that, so that number should, once it's done, that number goes away. So, and the patient, when they, then you send them an email at home, and they have to confirm that they wrote it. Now, on the email that comes home, they've given you a 2, it stays a 2. They can't change the 2. But if you said I didn't understand what the doctor said, but the doctor saw that and called you and said, look, I'm sorry I didn't explain that clearly. Here's what's going to happen. That can happen in between the time that you get the email. And the doctor, so they have a chance to say, I didn't understand what the doctor said, but he called me later that afternoon, and we went over it in detail. I'm now really impressed. So you can change the comments, but you can't change the 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the money is, we're raising this in stages. 600, 600, 600. The 600 is for us to put together, spit and polish on the presentation. And then go to folks who you know from our ancient history of healthcare to try to pick up some easy pieces to get a base, but I'm not ready to go to them until I can all but pretty this on the presentation. It works, doesn't it? You got to put the body on the fire, the issue's fine. And then the second 600,000 is to blow it out in a couple of markets where we're advertising to the patient. Is your doctor a SayAh doctor? So that maybe the patient can see what impact that has. And then the last 600,000 will be to blow it out with that. But at least you'll have money to stay in the game. If some big boy comes after it, or if they want to buy it.
What type of competition do you have? How much do you have?
None. None in verified.
This is just kind of the last question to wrap it up. If you guys have questions, you guys are hanging out a little bit afterwards, right? If you could tell us, what can the community do for you, Warren and SayAh?
Spread the word. Also, if you have a doctor, I've got some requests for proposals back there. If you are a doctor or have a doctor that you think ought to have this, have them send us a request for proposal. We'll give them a proposal, what we need for a system, and for them, and go from there. But we are looking for a Python writer. What is that? Python. I run the company because I can't spell software. I have no functional use. That's why I didn't run the company.
All right, let's give Warren and SayAh this morning, and I heard a few companies saying they'd like to present. If you are a company and you'd like to present, we are looking for more presenters. Just go to 1millioncups.com/Tulsa, and there's a request to present form. It might take about 5 minutes to fill it out. Also, just a reminder, we have cards to give away and hand out. I hand out several of these this week, and they're at the back. And again, SayAh's going to be hanging out if you have any more questions. And we'll see you guys here next week. Thanks for coming.
Doing all right, dude?
Really tired.
Hey, did you see the PowerPoint during the announcements?
I know.
Yeah.
I like that.